Hi, St. Paul Elementary School. It's Mr. Underwood back with another episode. I sure hope that you had fun yesterday and that you're looking forward to today as much as I am. Let's see what's going on today. Well, it's National Fibromyalgia Awareness Day. If you're not aware of that, look it up. It's National Nutty Fudge Day. Nutty fudge. It's Odometer Day. What's an odometer? It's one of these. It's in your car. What else is going on today? It's Limerick Day. You know those little pets you can go to the pet store and get, and you put... No, a limerick. A limerick is a poem. I'm going to read you a few. Let's see if you kind of get the idea. I know a young fellow named Vin who is really remarkably thin. When he carries a pole, people say, "Bless my soul." What a shock to find out you're a twin. All right, let's see another one. Everybody likes cats, right? There once were two cats from Kilkenny. Each thought that that was one cat too many. So they started to fight and to scratch and to bite. Now instead of two cats, there aren't any. That was a little sad. Listening to those couple of limericks, did you figure out what they are? That's right, they're actually poems, aren't they? They're poems with 5 lines. The first 2 lines rhyme together, then the third and fourth line rhyme together, then the last line rhymes with the first 2. So it kind of wraps it all back up together. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Edward Lear. He's the one who wrote a book back in the 19th century that introduced everybody to the limerick. And some of his limericks were very clever at the time. They were very funny. So we're going to watch a video showing you how he composed a few of his limericks and what you can do to write your own. So watch this.
Let's read a few of the poems of Edward Lear. There was a young lady whose chin resembled the point of a pen, so she had it made sharp and purchased a harp and played several tunes with her chin. There was an old man with a beard who said, "It is just as I feared. 2 owls and a hen, 4 larks and a wren have all built their nests in my beard." There was an old person of Dean who dined on 1 pea and 1 bean, for he said, "More than that would make me too fat, that cautious old person of Dean." There was an old man in a boat who said, "I'm afloat, I'm afloat." When they said, "No, you ain't," he was ready to faint, that unhappy old man in a boat. There was a young lady of Rusher who screamed so that no one could hush her. Her screams were extreme, no one heard such a scream as was screamed by the lady of Rusher. So did you notice how Russia was pronounced in that poem? It was pronounced to rhyme with the word her. Now let's look at the anatomy of this poem. It contains 5 lines. The first, second, and last line rhyme together. And of course, we're pronouncing Russia like Rusher. Next, the third and fourth line rhyme together. That gives us an AABBA rhyme scheme. Here's another one from Lear that follows AABBA. There was an old man of Peru who watched his wife making a stew, but once by mistake in a stove she did bake, that unfortunate man of Peru. Now, here's a couple of originals. There once was a cat from Norton that had a lot of yarn needin' sortin'. He became all tangled up, rode down a hill of tulips, that poor dizzy kitty from Norton. And that was a Mr. Underwood original. There was once a baby Orion that wanted to go flyin'. He shot past Mars and found some stars that were also named Orion. And that was an original by Liam's mother, Tanya.
So now that you know how to compose your own limerick, you can kind of go around the house singing your own little poems and making some good times for your parents. They would really appreciate it if you would come up with your own limericks and sing them just as loudly as you can. Don't do that because you'll probably get in trouble and they'll take away your mac and cheese. Anyway, limericks were actually popularized back in the 19th century, like we said, around 1820 by Edward Lear. And the word Limerick actually is a place in Ireland called Limerick, Ireland, and it actually came out of a song called Will You Come Up to Limerick. So what they did was they took the name of this town in Ireland and took the word out of the song and said, hey, you know what, it kind of fits this new form of poetry that everybody's doing. 5 lines, kind of funny. And so they started calling them limericks. So now you can do your own limericks. Let's read a couple more. Okay, let's try this one. There once was a princess named Jinx who was asked what she thought of the Sphinx. She replied with a smile, that old fraud by the Nile, I personally think that she stinks. I know this big owl named Stu. He stays up all night yelling, hoo! Once an old man walked by and he started to cry and answered, I don't have a clue. There once was a farmer from Leeds who swallowed a packet of seeds. It soon came to pass he was covered with grass, but has all the tomatoes he needs. An elderly man called Keith mislaid his set of false teeth. They'd been laid on a chair, he forgot they were there, sat down, and he was bitten beneath. Once there was a lady named Sue who had nothing whatever to do, and who did it so badly, I thought she would gladly have stopped before she was through. So those are some funny limericks, and of course there are some on the internet that you probably need to avoid, but you can look up some that are written just for kids. So those are some funny ones that you can actually kind of get some inspiration from. Like I said, make up your own, go around the house singing to your highest tune, but they'll take away your mac and cheese. So be careful. I hope you learned something today about poetry, and now you know how to write your own limericks, and that you have a wonderful rest of your Tuesday. And I look forward to seeing you back here tomorrow.